What's up, guys? Welcome to Down the Middle with Max and Los. Welcome to the new studio. I think this is the first episode that we're doing in the new studio. We still have more stuff. We did not, but the team skimped on got the Amazon Basic mic holders, and we're kind of ghetto rigging this for the moment. But next episode we will have the more expensive stuff. So I am Los. This is Max, and we are talking about trending topics on the internet, pop culture, NFTs, everything that we want. Let's start with Max went on a vacation, wedding kind of a situation in Mexico. Great time. Loved it. Came back, Facebook account completely gone. His team's account was completely gone. No reason, no rhyme, no solution, because there's no one to even contact. This has happened to me. Well, it happened to me, man, like 8 years ago. I never went back. But here we are now, two band brothers. That's maybe the name of the sideshow.
That's a great show.
Two Band of Brothers.
Band of Brothers?
Yeah.
We'll get sued once the show gets too big.
For sure. So what happened, dude?
I don't know what it's. I barely use Facebook anymore. Anyway, like I post on it.
Maybe it's you think they know that we talk shit, like because they're too big, right? But like we're specifically you and I, like we don't like we're actually pretty calm people. Like for that brand, we're kind of adamant about like talking shit about it.
Yeah, I mean, listen, there's all kinds of conspiracy theories, like because this is what we just talked about before we went live. It's like, just tell me,
right?
Like, again, just purely tell me why, and I'll be much happier. And I think most people will be much happier. I'd still be pissed, like, I lost my Facebook. That kind of sucks. But, like, I'll get over it. I wasn't really using it that much anyway, so I don't really care. It's more the principle. So, I don't know. Was it because all my posts basically were about how TikTok ads are better than Facebook ads, and you should stop using Facebook ads, and how much I don't like Facebook?
Right.
I doubt they give a crap, right?
Right.
Was it the fact that we run a conservative brand on the platform and they don't like that?
Yeah, they're liberal.
Even though we do things really, really white hat and super compliant, and we're selling really high quality, legitimate products made in the United States, like maybe that seems to be the most likely scenario.
I think being conservative is also just not white hat.
No.
You know what I mean? So like that alone is like wrong, especially in that scenario.
Yeah, it is amazing how that's changing. That can be another episode. We talk about it. Let's stay on topic here, but like it is interesting. It seems like being conservative or Republican now went from being just like a different political party to like evil and bad.
Yeah,
which is interesting. I mean, I'm not Republican, but I definitely have some views that I would consider conservative.
Right.
But it is interesting. It's definitely like if you're running a far left brand, whether it's a content brand or whether you're selling, products or collectibles or whatever, like you're dealing with a lot less issues running ads and building a business.
Probably getting more reach.
Building a business on the, not even far right, but just a business that is somewhat conservative. Right. That has, Second Amendment stuff, First Amendment stuff, Christian stuff, right? Religious. You're going to deal with that stuff. So it seems that that's the reason, because two of our CSRs lost their Facebook accounts over the weekend. So basically on Sunday, two CSRs and me lost our Facebook. All three of us got banned. The weird thing though is like, I don't think I was even on so they deleted a page. So basically like, this is how crazy it is. One of the pages we were using to run ads from didn't just get, sometimes if your page quality score goes below 2, they say you can't run ads from it before, they still run the page. We didn't even get that warning. We didn't get your page is suspended. The page just disappeared. It literally doesn't exist anymore. It was deleted. Everything associated was deleted. No message that was deleted. It's just everything's gone, and people are getting banned, and there's no reason why. But again, like I'm not even running ads anymore on Facebook.
Right.
I got my account back because it was banned like 9 months ago or a year ago, and then we knew some people that got it back from me. But since they got it back, I literally haven't run a Facebook ad. Right. I'm on some of the accounts, but like I'm not in there, I'm not logging, I'm not checking anything. So I'm not posting on these pages. I'm not on the ad accounts running ads. And I've posted maybe once a week this year on Facebook, maybe. Right. And it's been like join Founders Mastermind because we do this. It's been like, here's some tips on TikTok ads. I haven't even posted anything political this year. Like, or like by political, I mean like talking about inflation or the economy.
Yeah.
So I have no idea. I'm at a loss. All I know is that I deleted the app. It felt pretty good to delete it.
Yeah.
And frankly, Facebook as a app, not Meta as a company. Facebook as an app, I think it's dead.
Yeah.
There's no growth market there anymore. They have nobody under the age of 55, 60 is downloading the app in the United States.
Yeah. I mean, who uses actual Meta, Insta, but like who's on like, oh, I was scrolling Facebook. That's, no, you gotta be 60.
So yeah, I don't care. I just think it's a terrible company. I think they get away with so much shit, and I think eventually they're not gonna be able to continue to do that. There's got to be a turning point because no other company gets to do what some of these big social media companies that we talked about before. Like Verizon doesn't just say like one day like, hey, we're just no longer allowing you to be a customer of ours. Right. I know you've paid your bills on time, you've done everything right, but like we didn't like what you said on the phone call, so we're gonna cut off your service. Like they don't do it for FiOS, for the cable, for your cell phone. Apple doesn't say like, hey, we don't like the way you're using our Macs or iPhones, so we're just gonna come confiscate your iPhone. And it's like, it's crazy.
Yeah, it is nuts. I mean, we talked about this a little while. Like, Donald Trump doesn't have a Twitter, but the president of Russia is tweeting right now in their own war. Like that's cool. The Taliban has a Twitter, but the former president doesn't. That's nuts. It's just strange that you have that kind of power.
Yeah, you literally have a country that has essentially declared war on the world.
Yeah.
And they are committing war crimes and doing horrendous stuff. They're just shelling buildings. Like, and we'll talk about Russia towards the end of the show, but like they're kind of the office of the president. I think Putin himself doesn't have a Twitter account, but like the office of the president, which is basically his mouthpiece, still is able to tweet.
Yeah.
And they're not tweeting anything crazy. They're basically just tweeting call transcripts. But even so, it's like, how is that? How are those two things equal? How is like, some people on Twitter that are just like nobodies that are, they're just trolls. They say stupid stuff. Like, how is that equivalent? It's like they need to be banned because they say mean stuff. These people are killing human beings, are literally killing innocent women and children.
Yeah.
But they haven't violated our terms specifically, so we're going to let them continue to tweet. It's insane.
Who runs this? It's just unfathomable.
Yeah, because the people that are running the policy at Twitter and Facebook and all these companies used to work in DC, and they have connections and they have their back channels and stuff. It's all lobbying. It's all big money. It's all big business. It's all big tech. It is so corrupt, and it's such a carefully woven, intricate inner circle that nobody can penetrate. It's disgusting. Like, it's just watching what happens, and just the cycle that repeats time and time again is like, it's never going to change.
Yeah.
It's like, this is our system, and this is the way it's going to continue to work, and nobody can change it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen with that because they can just shut everything out, which is just crazy. But I mean, we got to live with it as entrepreneurs, as advertisers, and as creators nowadays. You just kind of got to live with what they give you. I'm a big fan of YouTube now. We're going a lot with like organic traffic on YouTube and TikTok, obviously. Obviously Facebook is just not my favorite thing, even though one of my biggest accounts is on Insta. It's just because kind of like where it is, but I want to try to do everything I can to start building in different places. I think more than ever as a creator or advertiser, anything that you are, if you're trying to do something online, you're either a creator or an advertiser. It might be both. You just got to create more omnipresence.
Yeah.
And maybe even build own channels, like maybe blogs start coming back, video blogs or whatever, Yeah,
you have to start owning your own channel, because like what's terrifying is what's happening in Russia right now for just the people. So what you're seeing is like big influencers in Russia, like Twitch streamers and stuff, they're done. They're now out of business because everybody's cut them off.
Which is crazy because there's a lot. I mean, I'm not giving an opinion like what is going on, but there is a lot of news that Russians are unhappy with what's happening. Like they're not, it's not like all of Russia is like, fuck the world, fuck Ukraine. Like there's a lot of people that are protesting in Russia that they want this gone. They want this to stop. And there's a lot of social media and other companies that are just shutting down. If you're from Russia, you're screwed.
Yeah, I mean, it's what has happened right now is scary because, like, if you're just an ordinary person who happens to live in the wrong country, like, you're screwed. Like, you have this is a perfect proof that you don't own anything. You don't control anything. We're all at the mercy of a handful of people, right? Because, like, you have this woman who is a big Twitch streamer, and she's been tweeting about this while she still has access to Twitter, and basically saying that she got notified by Twitch that like PayPal and all the payment processors are no longer processing payments, so she cannot accept money anymore. She can't withdraw money anymore. Plus, on top of that, their currency is imploded, so it's worthless. So unless they can actually get dollars from the bank, which nobody can because there's been runs on the bank, you're getting money that's essentially just paper you can use to burn. It's worth nothing. You can't buy anything because all the stores are sold out of all the hard goods. Like, you're screwed. You have a whole country of people that, like, most of those people didn't vote for this. They didn't want to do this. They don't agree with it.
No.
And, like, no matter what happens, no matter what the outcome is, whether they just, Putin decides, I don't want to, there's an off ramp and I'm just going to, end this and not push any forward, or he ends up taking over Ukraine. Like, the Russian people are, like, screwed. Like, the sanctions we put on them and what we've done, we've cut them off from the world. Like, the news is, and again, a lot of this is because of what Putin's done, laws he's put in place. But, like, we pushed and they've pushed, and, like, they're getting, I mean, obviously the people in Ukraine are getting hurt the most because they're actually getting killed and they're being invaded and they're being displaced. But then you have people in Russia that are just like, my life was 2 weeks ago, I was running a business. You have, like, marketing agencies like us.
Yeah. And
now they're out of business firing all their employees because no company can work with them. All their big contracts are all like, hey, sorry, you're a Russian company. We can't work with you. It's scary. But yeah, the social media, the creator thing is scary. If you're an influencer, but you happen to be an influencer in Russia, like on YouTube, on Twitch, on whatever, like, I don't know what you're gonna do there.
Yeah, I think owned platforms are going to be a big thing. Just trying to own your own thing, and obviously now, really, it's a big play for Bitcoin and Ether and everything, all those coins, because if you can take that no matter what, right? You can't shut that down, which is crazy though, because then you got to transfer it somewhere. So
yeah,
you're still kind of screwed
until people can, until you can buy everything in Bitcoin. You need to eventually
still got to transfer
into a fiat, and like
you can loop it. You can be finagly.
Yeah, I mean, like the average person, right? The average person, like, doesn't even know what to do. They don't know how to, even make a wallet. So it's
right.
What's also been interesting, I'm curious what your thoughts are on this, is like the argument for a long time for Bitcoin has been that Bitcoin is a store of value. Bitcoin is a hedge against inflation. Bitcoin is a hedge against volatility and market uncertainty and all the risk of fiat currencies. You would assume that with everything happening, this is the perfect instance of, like, proving the point that Bitcoin should be soaring and crypto should be soaring right now, because especially in, like, this country like Russia and stuff, where the currency is just collapsing. You have gold hitting record highs. You have hard assets, the commodities like oil hitting record highs. The stock market's imploding. Inflation's over 7%. Like, all these things are happening, and Bitcoin continues to fall. And I'm just curious, like, again, I'm not a crypto expert, and I don't have all the insights into, why or what, but it does seem like that underlying thesis of, like, this is the use case of Bitcoin doesn't seem, at least today, doesn't seem to be reality.
No, it's moving exactly where the market's going.
Yeah.
If the market's tanking, it's tanking. And I mean, when the market was skyrocketing, so was Bitcoin. So it's literally the same. Right. And it's actually scarier because, everyone's like, oh, don't put, money in your bank because it's losing money. Okay, let me put $100,000 in the bank. I'm going to lose $7,000. Let me put $100,000 in the Bitcoin, and one day I could just lose 40% of that, 50% of that.
Yeah.
Right now, a lot of people lost 40, 50, 60%. So, I mean, I've been thinking, like, man, I'd rather keep $100,000 in a bank than $100,000 in coins that are going to just do, because what it does to you, it's not like putting it into Apple. Okay, Apple went down. I'm good, bro. Like, Apple's going to come back up, and probably I'm going to be profitable in 3 years. And
it pays a dividend. It buys back stock. It does a lot of stuff.
Like, it's moving. Bitcoin, Ethereum, whatever, when it goes down, like, is this it? Is it more bear? Is it going to keep going down? oh, it's going to skyrocket. When? What if it, in 2017, I put like 200 grand into shitcoins, Bitcoin, all the things, skyrocketed. And I didn't take the money out in the right time because I was like, oh, we're going to be good. That went down to 40 grand. And I flash sold. I pretty much lost all the money, right? Like it just went, would never happened with the bank. I would have just had $195,000, something like that, right? And so at the end of the day, like this can happen to everybody. And there's a lot of Bitcoin people, we're not traders. Like you and I are not like big traders in that sense. Like we both have the same mentality. Like I put money in, I walk away. We'll see what happens. But a lot of people have put, their net worth into Bitcoin, and watching that go down significantly, I can't stomach that shit, dude. Like it's too crazy. I think real estate, banks, gold, that's kind of like a more logical play. Your business, that's where I'm putting logical stuff. And then you have your, let me see, throw some money on NFTs, throw some money on Bitcoins, because we're just not that experienced. Are other people making deca millions on it? 100%. But, that's what they're good at. We're good at business and marketing, and that's kind of where we put our time into.
Yeah, and you have to do that full time. Like that needs to be your life, is doing that all the time, right? And that's fine. But like, again, the other thing with, I don't think keeping cash in a bank account for either a midterm or long-term strategy is a good idea, because, 7% isn't a lot in 1 year, but compounded over decades, right? Like I posted a TikTok the other day, $1 in 1800. So in 1800, we're teleport back then, right? Somebody gives us a dollar bill, US dollar. Flash forward to today, that dollar's worth 4 cents. Like the dollar's worth, like over time, the dollar is worthless. Most fiat currency is worthless because it just gets, you print more and more and more, and inflation just eats away the buying power, right? That being said, like having access to cash short term, and you're paying that little, that fee, that inflation tax, but you can use that. You're not losing a massive chunk.
Right.
And then you can use that capital when there's opportunities to buy real estate, to buy hard assets, to buy stocks, to buy crypto.
Yeah.
If you're putting all of your money into volatile assets, then if and when you need cash, then that's when people get crushed.
Right.
Because like if right now, let's say one of those people that has, $1 million in Bitcoin, their whole net worth is in Bitcoin, right? And they've lost half of it in the last few months. And now they have a big tax bill, or they really need cash. You don't have a lot of options. Yeah, sure, you can borrow against it, right? There's some things you can do there, but a lot of people maybe don't have that much.
Most aren't going to also know that they can do that.
Most people are going to sell because they need cash.
They just lost $500,000.
And they just realize that loss, and you're screwed. Whereas like, hey, if I want to keep some cash because I know that things are volatile and there's a bear market and buying opportunity, I'm willing to pay, that inflation tax just for safety. It's like, I know it's there. I know it's not going anywhere. I know we're not hitting hyperinflation right now, so I'm not that worried about it. And now I can have access to capital without taking a huge loss and buy things.
Right.
But yeah, when I see people that are like all in on a single stock or all in on a single asset class, it bogs my mind. It's like, I don't get it.
Yeah. When it comes to wealth, diversification is the play, right? Like I think that the people that have it all on one don't really know what to do with money yet. So they go with, it's kind of like the same thing with like business. You do the same thing because you don't know what else to do.
Yeah.
And then once you get into other things, you kind of like figure things out.
Let's put it this way. I don't know a lot of billionaires or 100 millionaires, but like the ones I know, and then the ones I know of, like, I don't know a single one that all their money is in one thing.
No.
Like I don't know a single one.
No.
They own, if you're wealthy, you own a lot of things.
Yeah.
From different diversification just in asset classes. Like within your stock portfolio, you have things, you have, small caps, you have large caps, you have international, you have emerging markets, you have, value growth. Then you might have crypto, but in crypto, it's still diverse. You have some small caps, large caps, blue chips. And then real estate, you might have some, residential, some commercial interests. You're in REITs. And then you have art, you have collectibles, you have, hard assets, you have gold, you have silver, you have platinum, right? So that's the play. It's not like a very advanced playbook, but it's, you diversify. So if there's a massive move in the market, you don't lose all your money, because not all of those asset classes are correlated.
Right.
Like they don't all move in the exact same direction. Like right now, it's, hey, stocks are going down, crypto, all the kind of growth investments are going down, but gold and real estate and things like that are going up. Yeah. So if you have half your money in one, half your money in the other, you lose 10% here, but you gain 10, 12% here, you're good.
Yeah, and you can use one to kind of like float until the other one gets better as well, because it's all going to come back. It's just what you said. Like if I need it now, I'm in a bind.
Exactly. So it's, can I survive bear markets? That's the name of the game. It's like, are you young enough and do you have enough income and cash flow to survive these really volatile, painful periods? Because if you can do that, it really doesn't matter, right? 10 years from now, 20 years from now, 40 years from now, like what happened these 3 months is irrelevant. It's a blip in the long-term graph.
Right. So going on to the second topic, speaking about money, Rich, who is the founder and CEO of Fashion Nova, just purchased a home in LA. It is the most expensive house, I think, in America. It's
40 million?
It's 140 million.
140 million.
Yeah, it was 270. No one even looked at it. They went down to a 140, and he was like, let me scoop it. Wow, I didn't know Fashion Nova was doing it like that. And it's awesome because it shows, like, obviously fast fashion e-commerce is thriving. I think middle of the road, like mid-tier level brands are not doing that well on the apparel side, because then you have luxury. Streetwear, luxury, that's always thriving. The number 2 and like 5 top billionaires are the owner of Zara. He owns a bunch of other stuff.
And LVMH.
And then the owner of LVMH as well, right? And they own hotels and a bunch of other things as well. But it's all high margin luxury market. And then Zara, which is more fast fashion, which is kind of like Rich from Fashion Nova as well. Fast fashion just meaning like stuff you grab, $30 shirts, you throw them away, you just get another shirt because it's not really the best quality in the world. I think it's awesome for e-commerce, for the apparel world. I can't believe that someone would want a house that big. I mean, I think it's literally 100,000 square feet. I'm gonna Google it. It's astronomical.
Yeah, I don't understand.
What are you doing there?
Big house, like once you get past, in my opinion, like 10,000 square feet, it gets a little ridiculous, right? Like I think most people, like you're saying, like you're a family of 4, right? Like a family of 4, average American family, size-wise. Like you're at 10,000 square feet. Like that's a lot of extra space. Like that's when you start just adding, like we have our 3rd dining room. We have a 3rd media center. We have, like, you start adding just additional rooms that never get used. Like my dad was an entrepreneur. My grandfather was an entrepreneur. So I saw, like, when I was growing up, the kind of swings when I was little, like, lived in a really small little townhome. And then my dad's company got more successful. And then I ascended from like middle class to upper middle class. And the last house that I lived when I was at home, I think our house in Allentown, New Jersey was like 6,000 square feet. And like there was rooms in our house that like we never used. We had like our nice dining room that we ate in once a year on like, it was like Thanksgiving, right? And the rest of the year just sat there.
Right.
We had another room that was attached to my dad's office that had like, nice sitting area and couches and like art in there. Nobody ever went. We lived there for like 8 years.
Yeah.
We never went into that room ever. We spent almost all of our time in living room, basement. We had a kind of really cool basement entertainment, my room, kitchen. Mm-hmm. Every other room basically barely got touched. And so it's like, and that was, 6,000, 7,000 square feet. Like you're talking.
This is 105,000 square foot and it cost $141 million.
I don't get it.
105.
I don't get it. Like, at least with like, you buy a Bugatti. I still think it's crazy. Like spending that much money on a car, but it's like, I'm going to use that car. I'm going to go place. It's like usable in that sense. Like the whole car, right? I can look at it. I can admire it. It's like, when you're talking that big of a house, it's like, when you're just going to start exploring, you're going to like, and then you also, the crazy thing is then you got to like, so it's 140 million. You got to furnish the whole fucking thing, right?
Just maintenance.
And you're probably going to furnish it with really nice stuff, right? So think about just how expensive it is to furnish a normal house, let alone that. Then just the air conditioning bill, right? The power bill, the lawn, the insurance, like this is usually, I'm not saying this is going to happen to him, but like this is usually the mistake that those guys and women that win the lottery make, right? Yeah. There's that show on TLC. It's like How the Lottery Ruined My Life. The mistake they always make is they buy really expensive things that cost a ton to maintain, and they don't factor that in. So they think like, I bought a jet, and let's say I won the lottery for $50 million after taxes, and I bought a jet for $20 million. Like, cool, I have $30 million left over, but you don't realize like, well, you need to pay the pilot, the fuel,
every time you fly,
the storage where you keep it, all that stuff, the gate fees, or same thing with houses. Like you got to pay the property taxes, right? You buy a 10,000 plus square foot house on, an acre, 2 acres in a nice area. You're going to pay a shit ton of property taxes.
I don't think it's I'd love to, obviously it's a flex, right? Whatever. But, it's not even a good real estate investment because who's buying that from you, right? Like I want to sell my house. Okay.
Maybe 20 people in the world.
$20 million house. You can sell it. $30 million house. No problem. In LA, like it's achievable. Yeah. No problem. $104 million house or $141 million house, 105,000 square feet, like a prince, a sheik, like... Yeah,
you're talking like a double-digit amount of people that could actually even have the money to buy it.
Or even want it.
Then you got to narrow it down to people that actually want to buy it.
Right. Like I'd rather have 20 houses that are $10 million.
That's the thing is like, I guess when you have a certain amount of money, it's almost irrelevant. Like if you're a multi-billionaire...
Right? Is he a billionaire? Like, you got to be.
You'd have to be. You got to be.
I'm going to check out his net worth.
$140 million house in California. Yeah, you have to be. There's no way unless he's just a terrible,
he
terrible
could be a
money.
Complete buffoon.
But like I agree. I would much rather have, like $10 million houses in like 10 of my favorite places in the world. Like have a place in Park City, have a place in Vegas, have a place here in Florida, have a place in New York, right? Like that'd be way more practical. And then, even if they're only a few $1 million, and then like have a really sick private jet to take me from all those places, have wardrobes at every place, have, help at every place. Again, like people can spend their money however they want to. And like, I can only imagine having that much money, but it seems like that's an reasonable amount of money to spend on a property. And like you said, I think a lot of people have been doing this. It seems like the last few years, building these spec houses.
Yeah.
For like ultra wealthy, they've been building out these like spec 20, 50, $100 million homes. And I haven't heard a lot of good stories about it. It seems like a lot of them have been having to sell for like way less than they thought. There was that dude, what's the big timeshare company? The guy who owns...
That did the big house in Orlando?
Yeah.
Siegel?
Yeah, I think...
David Siegel.
It might be his name. That's definitely a guy. It sounds familiar, right? You could look it up. It's like whatever... I'm drawing a blank now on the name of the timeshare company. It's going to drive me crazy. But he built the world's most expensive home a decade ago. He started that project. And I think they scrapped it. I think they got like halfway through.
There's a documentary.
Yeah, it was a whole movie about it.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
So it doesn't seem like it's worked out well. Anytime even wealthy people have tried doing this. Yeah, because you're right. It's like at some point, it's like, let's say he hits some hard times financially. Fashion Nova goes down or whatever, and needs money, wants to sell that. Like, I doubt you're getting $140 million for that. Especially if you have to sell it.
I couldn't find it, but I found something in April 2020 that says that Fashion Nova was worth $450 million. Obviously, it can't be true. They've got to be in the couple billion, at least as a valuation. They're not public.
Or he has invested in a lot of other projects,
right?
And owns pieces of other $100 million plus.
I still
brands.
think this is stupid. Like, I mean, like you said,
Westgate.
Right? Westgate Resorts.
Didn't even look it up. I just thought
Westgate.
of it. There we go.
Westgate Resorts.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy was crazy.
Crazy dude.
That was a fun show because like they were just like, sometimes you're just crazy with your money, dude. Like it's insane.
Yeah, I mean, do you see like speaking of crazy money, like Jeff Bezos, his yacht, they had to disassemble a bridge to get it out of the port.
No.
So his yacht was so big, and where they built it to get out to sea, like there was a bridge, and like every normal boat could go under the bridge. He actually had to pay to disassemble an entire bridge and then reassemble it just so he could get his $600 million or whatever yacht out of the harbor.
Wow. That's crazy.
What do you like? It's hard to fathom like what it must be like to wake up every morning and like have like 85 billion. I forgot how much money he had, like 85 billion or plus or minus like dollars. Like you have like literally tens of billions of dollars that you could do. Like you could do anything in the world. You could wake up today and decide, I want to buy like 30 companies today. Like I'm going to go to like
to shut down.
Yeah. Literally like you have enough money. If you went to like a hotel and they gave you a hard time and people always joke like, when they're going to buy this hotel and fire you. It's like, you literally could do that. You could just say, I'm going to buy this hotel today in cash and I'm going to fire all of you because you were really mean to me.
Yeah. Matter of fact, I'll just buy all of Marriott.
Or like going to a car dealership and be like, I'm just going to buy every car here. And then I'm going to buy the building and I'm going to turn this into my personal garage.
I wonder if you care. Like, I feel like you're just trying to solve bigger problems because you're just so unmotivated. Because like you just wake up and you're like, whatever you want, like you already know, like I can have it. So like, that's not a problem I want to solve, or that's not your desires of like, let's say you and I want to go on, you and I want to buy a jet and we want to fly it all the time. Okay. So now let's just say the jet's $10 million and every time we fly it, it's like $20,000. Okay. Like we have money. We don't have that kind of money. Right. Okay. So that's exciting to us. That's something that we can work towards. He's just like, yeah, then I'll hop in a bigger jet and a bigger jet. I'll have a jet that's inside that jet. So like, that doesn't matter to him. He's probably just thinking like, it's your ego or your like Elon, I think, is trying to change the world. Like just even for his own. If you think he is or he's not, whatever you want, that's fine. But I think he's trying to make like world changing. Like I want to be the Albert Einstein, the biggest name of the world because I'm going to create some crazy stuff. Like that's what drives him. Bezos is not as much like that. I think Bezos is more just having fun and whatever, right? I mean, I don't know either one of these guys, but it seems like one of them's tackling like real shit. The other one's just building the biggest store in the world.
It does seem like Bezos now that he's like single again, like he has this new girlfriend that's way
Miami,
younger.
He's partying.
It seems like he's hit this switch where he's just like, like all of a sudden he went from, Rogan was talking about this the other day, like he started his career as a nerdy dweeb selling books online, and now he's the richest person in the world, jacked, like dating a supermodel. Like, I mean, stereotypical rich guy. Yeah, he just went.
For you though,
he went hard on that. Like, he just pivoted hard. He's like, woke up one morning. I got a lot of money. Like, I'm just gonna go crazy. I'm gonna buy everything I can. I'm gonna go into space.
I think that's awesome. I mean, if we were that wealthy, I'd be like, yeah, same. Like, whatever. Probably stay with our same wives, but we'd just whatever you want. Like, let's go. I'd give a lot of stuff. Like, to be like, where do you want to go? Let's go here. Let's buy you that hotel. I like giving shit, so I'd probably be giving a lot of stuff to homies.
Yeah, I would start doing crazy stuff. Like, this is what's interesting. I don't hear, maybe they just keep it anonymous, so you don't hear about it as much. But like, Fleischman does that thing, that tip club, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Which is really cool. Like, everyone puts $1,000 and they give 30 grand, 20 grand to waiters.
Right.
I know I've heard Shaq do this a few times, but like, I would just start doing that. Like, if I was that wealthy, every meal I ate at,
it'd be a lottery ticket.
I would leave like 50 grand.
Right.
Like something crazy. Like,
right.
I would go like McDonald's, like drive through, here's 50 grand.
Right.
Because like at that level of money, there's no possible way for him to
can't spend
lose
it fast enough.
He cannot spend it fast enough with how much his net worth is appreciating.
Right.
So like, why not?
Right.
Like, I literally think he probably could have a bigger impact on the economy, not paying more taxes, but literally just going around and everyone he meets just like giving cash to.
Right.
Like driving through like inner city Chicago or Detroit and just fucking handing out $1,000, $5,000 every person.
Yeah.
It's surprising like you haven't heard of that happening. It seems like something, even if it wasn't a goodwill thing, just like a publicity thing,
right,
that some of these rich people would have figured out. Like, I'm just going to spend a month traveling the country in an RV and just giving money away to people.
I'm sure some do it, like Christmas times and stuff like that, but most of them are still, tycoon level entrepreneurs that are just like, if I do this and I move it to here, I actually won't even pay taxes, blah, blah, blah. They're still thinking like hustler entrepreneurs in that sense, right? Like, I mean, Elon Musk tried to end world hunger. They sent him that tweet. They're like, hey, if you paid $6 billion, you could end world hunger. He sent, hey, give me the documents. No one sent anything. And I still think he sent the money.
Bro, this is why, like, again, whatever you think of Elon Musk personally, the dude, he's a little bit of a troll. He can be an ass online, right? He has no filter.
Yeah.
But like, actions, in my opinion, speak way louder than words, right? What you do matters way more than what you say.
Right.
And he's literally bringing high-speed internet to the people of Ukraine.
Yeah.
Like, we're not doing, the government's not doing that. We're not helping at all. Like,
not at all.
We're sending weapons and stuff, but like, we're not providing like that level of support. He's literally sent little mini satellite dishes to people in trucks, Starlink. He's beaming satellite internet to people throughout Ukraine. And it's like legit. It's like 200 megabytes up. People are doing speed tests in Ukraine and Kyiv and stuff. And it's like, the dude's a hero.
He's our Tony Stark.
Yeah.
I think he has a suit. I bet you money, just for fun. Like, no one knows a lot about it, but I think he has a suit. You know,
or he's working on something.
I would have a suit. Yeah. Imagine being that smart. You know, me and you would have suits.
I would 100%, if I was Elon Musk, I would 100% take a few billion of my net worth, and I would hire a bunch of smart people from MIT, and I would pay them full time to make me some type of badass suit.
Yes.
Like or even like the Batman suit from Batman or Superman. It's like super bulky, but like something. I want you to build me some type of robot suit that I can get in.
Right.
I'm going to give you 5 years to do it. Here's $1 billion personal project. I want you to do it.
Watch Spider-Man, Batman, and Iron Man. Mix this together.
Spend the first 6 months watching movies, doing R&D.
Right.
and then take all my money and figure it out. By the way, we can end with that too. We can talk about the Batman. I didn't see it.
Have you seen it?
No.
We should go.
I really,
we should go.
I 100% need to see it.
I heard it's amazing.
Yeah. I've heard amazing things. It's the second movie beyond Spider-Man to break 100 million since COVID, since 2019 box office. I think it made like over 200 million opening weekend internationally.
Yeah.
I mean, it's super excited about it because I think it's a whole new chapter. They already signed on. They already signed up for the second one. I think they got a 3-movie deal with Robert Pattinson.
Right.
Super dark. Like the tone of the movie.
Really dark, detective, kind of like murder mystery.
Like 3-hour movie.
Right.
But yeah, I'm pumped that it did well critically, commercially. Like I knew it was going to, just because of everything I've read about and seen. But like you never know. Sometimes it could just have high expectations and it just bombs.
Yeah.
What's crazy is he only got $5 million. So he's basically the lowest paid like Batman actor for their first Batman movie. I think Christian Bale was like 15 or something for the first one. Ben Affleck
probably the most expensive.
It never got disclosed, but it's probably similar or more.
20, 25.
Even back then, like Keaton, Clooney, Kilmer, all got more equivalent inflation, like more. So it's interesting. I'm sure he'll get double digit for the next one.
People would do it for free just to be the Batman.
That's probably what it was. It probably was like he just was so excited.
Yeah.
That he didn't even negotiate it, or like it was like limited negotiations. Like, okay, you said yes, I'm in.
I mean, now he can charge whatever he wants.
Yeah.
Like it's going to be a whole thing. I love where they're going with DC. Like they're just like, no, we're not going to be Disney style. We're going to go full dark, murder, destruction, death. Cause that's how, if you read the comic, which I know you do, like that's how DC is. It's really dark, gory, like killing, like they all have internal demons inside as the superheroes. It's not like the boys level stuff, but it's more real. The other superheroes in Marvel are just like perfect.
Yeah.
And that's opens up like a better conversation with like all the DC stuff. I'm excited for the Flash movie. I heard it's going to be really fire as well.
Flash movie, Black Adam,
Aquaman 2 is coming out.
The little clips they've released of that, Dwayne Johnson.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, did you see that clip where it shows like it's the opening where they like a group of military guys find him and like wake him up, like break him out of this prison he was put in?
No.
It's sick. It's literally, it's like,
I'll find it
just
on YouTube.
Grabs a dude and just like disintegrates him with his like bare hands. It's getting shot at. It's like bulletproof. He's basically like Superman level power and just murders everybody.
That's great.
Yeah. He's the only, I think they said he's the only superhero guy playing a superhero that doesn't wear padding under his outfit. It's all just like, it's just him.
It's just him.
Yeah. Just
that's awesome.
Dwayne Johnson. Everyone else has got padding under their shit.
Yeah. I'm excited. We should talk about it and figure out a time to go see it.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, that is it. Let us know if you went to see the Batman movie. Subscribe, join the notifications if you're on Spotify. If you're on YouTube watching us, subscribe to the channel as well. And we will see you guys on the next episode with better mics. So for myself and Max, at MaxFinn on Instagram, not on Facebook, at Los Hustle. We will see you guys on the next episode.
Later,
Bye, guys.